NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine.
If you're craving hot dogs and more, and you're in the area, then look no farther than Coney Island, downtown Newcastle on Kennedy Square.
Welcome to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody.
Hail to the Lions.
No.
Yes.
This is Pitt Panther. This is Pitt Panther time, okay? This is why it's Pitt Panther time, okay? Angelo, Pitt Panthers football, Pat Narduzzi and staff has now got their 13th commit in the past 9 days, including 6 over the past weekend. And Angelo, these aren't just any recruits, okay? These are really good, high-profile players. And Angelo, after Narduzzi's first 4 years, his recruiting classes were in the 40s, 50s, nothing really impressive, but after this week, and actually since yesterday, because I picked up another recruit yesterday, they are now number 22 in the country in terms of their ranking. Okay. Now, yes, I know it means little in terms of on-field success, but it's definitely a big indicator in terms of how people are viewing the program. And obviously to get wins, you have to have good players. And Angelo, should I be excited? Should Pitt Panther Nation be excited? Or is this just something, is this as good as it's going to get for the Pitt Panther football team?
It's a passing fancy.
Okay.
You don't have any ability to put it together. I think, here, let me put it this way to you. First of all, a major reason for the little upswing may be the fact that they're in the ACC.
And finally, they've been in the ACC since 7 years ago. So do you think now, after 7 years, like that ACC advantage is finally kicking in?
Well, it takes a while. When a team joins another conference, it takes a while for that to blend up, okay? And I'm not going to come down too hard on Pitt because I still want them to beat Penn State. Okay? However, to get up there with, and you just flicked out of it, to get up there with the big boys, which is the Notre Dames, okay, and the Floridas and the Georgias and Miami and Alabama and LSU and Michigan and Ohio State. That what you're seeing on that top 10, Texas A&M is the only one that may move in and out of there. Okay, you've got to be able to get close. And that doesn't mean your number 22 recruiting class can beat your number 7 recruiting class. But they have to make that move to be in front of a Georgia Tech or in front of an Oklahoma, okay? And they have to be able to win that game, win that big game, okay? Because who you're looking around seeing them is you're looking at Tennessee that's on their back porch, and Tennessee hasn't had good seasons. Auburn is on their back porch, and Auburn hasn't had good seasons. Okay, and I will say that with North Carolina State and Kentucky. So Pitt's recruiting class is in the mesh of where it should be.
Ahead of Penn State.
And
that is big.
And Penn State is only a Pitt in central Pennsylvania. I've claimed that for a
Well, yeah, I know your feelings, on Penn State.
Because, just because you join a big conference doesn't mean you're a big conference player. Penn State will play all the little schools before a big game because they don't want to show any weakness.
Yeah, I know what you mean in terms of on-field results and success. I think, though, in terms of winning recruiting battles in your home state, this is really big because on this offer sheet for these Pitt recruits, Penn State, Ohio State, most of these players had Penn State on them. And schools like Ohio State, and Pitt was able to get them. Usually in years past, recent past, these kids would choose Penn State. So, and I'll talk about this in the second segment as to why I think Pitt was able to really have a successful recruiting period compared to years past. We'll go more into that in the next segment. But it's always big when you can beat out Penn State because perception's everything. Yeah, Penn State gets the perception, you get your 10 wins, you beat up on cupcake schools.
But those decisions have to be equated on the field. When you're down there and you have the chance to take the lead and you give Penn State all the momentum by running the ball and not kicking the field goal, that's wrong. And that will, I've seen top basketball recruits go to Duquesne and get worse since they went there and not better. So we'll see where this goes. We better take a break.
Yeah, well, let's take a break and we'll get more into it in our second segment. But now a word from our sponsor.
This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com. Holy snowman, it's the Turf Bar, home of great sandwiches, appetizers, tacos, you name it, they have it at the Turf Bar. It's just the right food. You'll enjoy those special drinks. They're there too. And get that nice cold beverage, relax, enjoy the Turf Bar. If you ain't there, you should be. Hello, friends. Pinella Brothers, 1701 Hamilton Street, provided funding for this program. Great food and drink, Pinella Brothers.
Welcome back to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. And I just want to go a little bit more into some of these Pitt recruits. And because, obviously I am excited. And, I feel like I don't get much chance to be excited as a Pitt fan. So let me have this, Angela. Let me have this, okay? So, in our previous shows, I would rant about why Pitt was struggling to get a lot of hometown players to stay. Now they got the number one prospect in Pittsburgh and if I'm correct, number 3 overall player in PA to stay home in Deion Hayes. Now, Rivals has him as a 3-star, but most other recruiting websites has him as a 4-star. But I just use Rivals because I like the clean navigation. So let's take a look at some of these schools. Yeah, let's see. I'm already getting bugged by people trying to, get on my case.
Look at the schools. Okay. Temple, Syracuse, and Rutgers.
That's just the beginning. Look at these schools, though. He got offers from Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan State.
Okay, now wait.
Those are good schools.
Now wait. Nebraska, they haven't won a game since the Civil War, and not for anything. Under their verbal commitment, it has none. Okay, so
he got an offer though. Ohio State offered them. I go by offers more than stars. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, Okay, so when I look at it, they beat out Michigan State. That's a plus.
Mm-hmm. They beat Ohio State. That's huge. It's Ohio State.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not that all about Ohio State. If you go and you don't think you're going to play. Okay. Now, here's the thing. As you scroll up, Kemosabe, you're looking at Ball State, Bowling Green. I'm looking that they beat Illinois. That's probably a good thing. Scroll down. In Illinois, Indiana, okay, Maryland. Those are teams they're supposed to beat. Michigan State's a big plus. Mississippi State, I can't see anybody want to go down there unless you're from Mississippi.
Navy's a different. That's different. Yeah.
Navy's different, and
I still think Ohio State. Those are good schools to beat out.
So I don't see him being okay.
I still think it's big when you got a 4-star recruit and you can keep him home and keep him from being plucked away from a school like Penn State or Ohio State. And I get everything you're saying, but let's take a look at some of these other players. Now, Pitt's been getting a lot of recruits from Florida. And that's big because Florida, there's a lot of speed in Florida. And that's where they've built a recruiting pipeline down there. And if you want to compete with the big boys, you need speed, and that's what Pitt's getting. So let's look at their two 4-star recruits, Javante Royal and Aiden Henningham. Oh, geez, I hope I'm pronouncing these dudes' names right. But let's take a look. Here, see what offers this guy has. Now, see, this is why I go more by offers than stars. So this guy has more stars than Dayon Hayes. He's a 4-star, but his position rank overall was 54 and his state rank was 46. Now let's look at the offers. Now he did get offers from Auburn, Florida, Kentucky
and Louisville.
Big.
No, but they're all in Pitt's class. Who is Pitt beating out?
I mean, I think it's just big and... Well, Auburn and Florida are bigger programs than Pitt. I just think it's big when you could beat out...
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why not?
Because, Florida hasn't come up with a winning team since we...
You're looking at it from a recent success on field standpoint. I'm looking at it from a program and prestige standpoint.
You have to look at it from recent success because are the in and out every day, every year type of thing, and I don't see that in and out. We talked about that tier situation before, and when I look at Kentucky, Pitt can beat Kentucky, Pitt can beat Louisville, Pitt can beat Minnesota, and even North Carolina State and Nebraska. Now Pitt's going to struggle with Ohio State, so that's a quality pick over in Ohio State. Okay, but a USCF or Western Kentucky.
Well, UCF has obviously some big recent success. But anyway, I'm not trying to dig too deep into one individual's offer list. The point I'm trying to make is these players are choosing Pitt, a program that's been pretty mediocre, over higher prestige schools. And like I said in the first segment, why? Why is that happening?
Pitt's made it to bowl games how many years?
Well, yeah, I think stability at the top finally. This is going to be Narduzzi's 5th year. Narduzzi and his staff has been recruiting these guys for a few years. Relationships are big. Relationships, I believe, are actually the biggest factor in terms of landing recruit, maybe even over, a school's prestige. So, now obviously they went to the ACC title game last year. That's big. So, recent success, ACC title game, relationships, stability, it's finally catching up. You know what I mean? I think it's catching up. No, I'm not saying Pitt's going to finish in the top 15, the top 10. Look, if Pitt could get 8 to 10 wins per year, compete for the ACC Coastal Championship, I'm fine, man. But overall, I'm really happy. And one last thing before we go to break. They actually picked up a commitment from the 2021 class. Another hometown guy.
They can't commit.
What's that?
They can't commit.
Verbal commit. They're not signing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, things could change in terms of verbal commits. It's still big. Oh, another thing I think that's helped Pitt is the rebranding. We talked about that before, going back to their old colors, the old logos. I feel like that's big. Maybe if they're ever going to do stadium,
Need on campus.
Yeah, I mean, so last guy, Naki Johnson, outside linebacker, from Homestead, PA.
Plays in West Mifflin. He was beaten by the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
We had him on Newcastle West Mifflin game. He was beaten by the Canes, and then West Mifflin ended up coming in second in WPL.
Okay, so you're familiar with him.
So
Okay, so he.
So it's how they develop down the line.
Mm-hmm. And he's had off. So he chose Pitt to stay home, and that's what Pat Narduzzi's been finally trying to get these guys to stay home. He had offers from Michigan. I feel like it's a big one, obviously. Michigan, Mississippi State, Penn State, Virginia Tech, West Virginia. Michigan, Penn State, probably the two biggest offers there.
No.
You don't think?
No, I would say Michigan and Syracuse. Penn State, you're giving them more credit than I think they deserve.
I don't know, maybe I am, but I think we need to take a break. We'll go into our third and final segment. And now a word from our sponsors.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. These fine businesses provided funding for this program. Gatherings, Town and Country, and On Target.
And welcome back to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. All right, Angelo, so you let me have my Pitt Panther fix.
2 out of 3.
I know, you let me have it.
First of all, do you cheer for Rain or the Pirates more?
Well, it depends. If I'm at a game and the Pirates are 20 games under 500 and I'm muggy and miserable and I just got dragged there because I promised a friend like 9 months ago I'd go to a game with them, then I'm kind of cheering for the Rain. But
I mean, a walk-off walk?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Now, I am all for giving the mulch to the Milwaukee Brewers, who seem to interfere every time with the Pirates having any kind of a season, and they're interfering with everybody else. On the other hand, will the Pirates ever decide that they need a little bit of pitching? Even somebody that can throw under him.
Dude, I mean, we talked about this before. I feel the Pirates know what they need. The Pirates are very aware of their perception of, being cheap or financially stable or flexible. Will they pull the trigger, make something happen? If they do, I don't think it'll be anything worthwhile. The 36-41 now. You get the feel that this is just a bleh season. Management doesn't really care.
And they're going in to play the Braves.
I hate the Braves.
Yeah, you've got the Braves and the Brewers and the Reds ahead of everything. And
yeah. I mean, it's whatever, I guess. But, I again, Oh God, yeah. Look, it all started in April with that like 13-game losing streak. Well, they lost around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game losing streak. Oh man, and then they had another 8-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So I mean, man, if you can eliminate those 2 little dips and just even split half, then
you're above 500.
yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're only 5 games below 500. I believe in trying to win and competing for pride. I still feel like getting over 500 would still be a big success for the season. You know, it's not obviously all you want, but you still want to maintain a level of consistency and winning seasons, especially when you've only had like 3 in the past, 26 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So again, you can get your hopes up over the Pirates. I'll root for them from a distance, but
3rd game of the season, Notre Dame takes on Georgia.
we talked about this before. I'm gonna stick with Notre Dame.
You know, that's a big thing down in Georgia. Now, also, Duquesne Dukes bumping it up, taking on Youngstown State. Dukes walk away with a win at Youngstown State.
Mm-hmm.
They create some thunder.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I always had a little bit of love in my heart for the Penguins. You know, like I said, I got my associate's degree there a while ago before I got my bachelor's, and like, it just, I kind of wish YSU would have won that game. I wish YSU could be better than what they are in basketball.
Yeah,
I know
this is a football game. This is a football game at the Ice Castle, where they're going to be. I think the Dukes are going to be challenging.
Well, no, I think the Dukes will be challenging too. This is actually a step up for Duquesne because FCS subdivision is higher up than Duquesne's, but Duquesne can still compete with them.
Yeah. And Duquesne, keep in mind that the Dukes went up to South Dakota, and South Dakota won it all.
Mm-hmm.
So
didn't Duquesne play West Virginia, or they're going to play West Virginia or something?
Yeah,
like
they're gonna be taking a trip to Morgantown. It'll be interesting to see if Pitt gets on the Duquesne bandwagon.
Is that this year Duquesne's playing West Virginia?
I think it comes in next year, but I'm not.
That's
sure.
big for the Duquesne program. And I'll tell you what, I hope Duquesne's ready because playing down in Morgantown, it's a nightmare.
Well, we've been there. In the tradition, they always come up. Let's go,
Mountaineers. Let's go burn some couches. Act crazy. Act disrespectful. I remember they always come to Heights Field and trash the place. Just act like complete animals. Not to.
Well.
Hate on them, but I hate them.
I give them their loud. I'm not gonna be rude to them.
Oh, I won't be rude to them, although I'll say they're rude, and I hate their fan base. I do. Hate them. But, anyway, I think...
a true Pitt guy.
Yeah. I think that's a wrap. Any final words, Angelo?
Let's go, Dukes.
Let's go, Pitt. And Penn State should go basketball. All right, you guys have a good one, everyone, and stay safe and stay cool.